I'm gonna refresh this here. For real, people talking normal here, and who's the one man who disliked the video? Or is that one man who's missed the like button? And sometimes it's before. But we live, ain't we? Live for 1 whole minute here. Hey. No, that's the wise.
Yeah, wise.
What going on here, right? Why
Use Internet Explorer?
There's a new thing. That was a nice live session there, boy. The thing is, how much it's going to help, because it's January, it will be a little kind of.
This really late though.
So let's see if I've seen some wise in the chat now then. Look, the wise.
Hey, the wise reach here.
The
It was
wise
well
reach.
delayed. It was well delayed.
Real delayed, boy. Wow, I wonder why it's so delayed. Me amputate me. Oh, they switch sides? We switch sides.
That's because it gone.
Yeah, it mirrored. Wait, when it's so delayed, it's be hard for me to answer and respond to questions. Wow. So I'll just keep refreshing. Hopefully the stream catch back itself, cause it really delayed. You see what we talking here? We probably talk like about 30 seconds after we now seen them wise. Let me switch back to the other side.
When I was watching, tell us when you seeing the switch back to the other side.
Yeah, tell us when you seeing the switch back to the other side. I was like about what, 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Let me see. So right switch in the thing. If you see, we switch back. So let me see. So it was a kind of good thing that the live cut off, because we get to rename the video because we finish with the paper. You all switch. So it kind of it's speeding up.
Yeah, it's speeding up. It was
So refresh the stream. Press the refresh button, refresh the stream, and it'll be on the fastest possible thing. So I was explaining the method for learning diagrams.
There's the fella that come to the class.
The man who dropped me out the road. That's the man who dropped me out. Really?
Yeah.
That's yeah. So what we did, we went through. Hey, only we nearly on 21k. We nearly on 21k subscribers. I didn't even get to post something on Instagram for 20k. I wanted to post something for 20k, but it's not like a fighting long now if it reach 21k before I get to post. To learn diagrams in biology, I can't talk too much. Exam tomorrow, we're going to finish in the next hour or two. So you need to watch the diagrams, and I know a lot of you all are going to be trying to do
like
diagrams.
you reintroduce me for the new people.
New people? This is my brother. We just did a whole 2-hour live stream. That's my brother. He's my brother, right? And his name is Nathan. And he is single. You're not single. You have a crazy girlfriend.
I single.
He's single. He playing brave. He's single, right? Alright. I'm my brother. So you need to watch the diagram. Let me just get through this very quickly before we start up on some diagrams. And these are the diagrams you're gonna do. This real far back way. So you're gonna do all of these. Excuse my handwriting. The eye, the kidney, the tooth on the syllabus.
Yeah, so
we need to check if they're on the syllabus. Skin, reproduction, digestive system, skeleton, brain, leaf, cycles, phloem, and xylem. I'm not too sure if we'll get all done, but we'll see how much we could get done. And if we could talk about other stuff too, that'll be real helpful. To learn all these diagrams, or just check over all these diagrams, you need to, in your mind, can I draw the eye? Try and draw the eye now. If you make a mistake, fix that mistake, and then try again to draw it from memory. You will learn incredibly fast that way. But what 99% of students try to do for diagrams is watch the diagram, memorize it, and just try and pick it back up for themselves in the brain. And then maybe try later on and realize they can't draw it, and then they can say, I don't know how to draw diagrams.
Or try to draw it while watching the diagram.
Say, oh yeah, someone draw it and watch the diagram like this, and draw it, and they get false confidence. They think, I know this whole diagram. That don't mean you know the diagram. This is how you learn diagrams. You watch the diagram, you close the book, you draw it from memory. You need to be able to replicate it from memory. You go back, you fix your mistakes when you try your best, then you draw it again from memory, and you'll be surprised at how fast you learn it. That method seems like so long. I had to draw the diagram, I had to check back, I had to draw the diagram again, but it's the fastest way to learn diagrams. Make sure and do that. Alright, 118 people online on this live, so I need you all to, here's what I need you all to do. Make sure there's 118 likes on the video. The more likes on the video, the more of the people from before will get the notification. Not all the people who are on just now would get the notification that we come back live, you know. So for them to get the notification on your phone, you all need to like it up, people. Like it up. You all need to screenshot, post on Instagram, let people know we're going to go through some diagrams. So we're starting off with the eye. Eye for them.
Eye for the people.
Eye, right? So it kind of hard.
Why you never save the live? The previous live didn't save?
What's happened is take a little while and then it's load back up. Just take a little while and it's load back up. But if you could go in your notifications and click on the live, you'll still see it now. It will still show. Like the whole live will still show now if you go on your notifications and click on it. But if you go on my channel and look for it, you wouldn't find it. It will come back up in about 2 hours. That's the kind of bad thing. So it's important that you stay on this live right now. And in the morning, all the lives will come back up too, so you can just take a quick refresh, go through fast through the video and take. Alright, eye, enough talk. You ready for the eye now? That one ain't looking too hot. Let's get a nice diagram to work with. Come where the eye is. Kind of longer eye is that way.
Lizard eye, you know.
I just want a decent little eye here to use.
It's in HD here?
Alright, it's in HD. But I don't like how they have it, so whatever. So we have the eye here. Do some explanation there, my brother. Once again, you would only be able to memorize this if you draw it yourself.
Alright. We starting at the
food, nuts. I stroke you when you're talking.
We starting at the top here with the conjunctiva. The conjunctiva is a thin transparent skin continuous with the lining of the eyelids, protects the cornea. If you ever heard of conjunctivitis, that's basically red eyes conjunctivitis. That's sometimes an infection or irritation that harms or disrupts the conjunctiva. Alright, we back. Yes. Share it up. Next.
Yeah, watch it in your textbook too. Watch it in your textbook or your notes, so wherever you have the eye draw, watch it. Maybe whilst you're doing it, try and draw it for yourself and don't waste time. If you know this already, don't watch the live if you know this already. Just keep the live open and learn something else. Be wise with your time, please. We're closing off in 2 hours or less. Go ahead.
Alright. Then it would make sense we go with the sclera next. The sclera is basically your eye.
The what?
Sclera.
Alright.
That's basically your eye. That's the white.
Yeah, I don't know that for CSEC, that word. I don't remember that word, boy.
Nah, that word there. It's in your in the text too. That's basically the white around. Let me search brains for tomorrow. That's basically the white around your eye. What you see on your eye, the white part is the sclera. And
just can't watch that today, doesn't be able to focus. Go ahead.
But as you see in person, when the brighter than the future thing.
I'm just waiting to see someone in real life. I will deal with it and see ready.
The cornea here is basically opening in the sclera. This is where the sclera opens to get inside the eye. So you could think of the sclera as the outside of a ball, and the cornea is the opening of it.
Right. Oh. So we enter the cornea now.
Yeah, the cornea. It's transparent. Bear in mind, it's not just a random open thing where dust could blow inside your eye. It still has the coating for the conjunctiva.
So the conjunctiva is the coating, then you have the cornea.
Right. The cornea is the opening there, the transparent opening, so light could enter inside of your eye, inside of your eyeball, as it would.
What does give your eye the color?
The color would be the iris.
The iris. Pointed in.
The iris, this.
Let me get this. Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. The iris would be this. That's what gives your eye the color.
So those two things are coming down there.
Yeah. On the two sides. Bear in mind, it's not on the two sides. It looks like on the two sides, but it's a circle around.
So it's a circle. So if you're watching a frontal view, your iris is the circle.
Yeah.
The circle thing.
Yeah. That's your iris. And
So all this here is your eye. So your eye open all up to here. So
Yep.
this part here is just like the ball in your eye.
The brown spot or the dark spot or the blue
Right.
spot or the whatever
So,
color spot
okay.
your eye is.
Right, so go ahead. So that's as just say asking these questions because this is what people don't ask in class, and this is why it's help you memorize the diagram better and understand what's happening. Go ahead.
Okay. And your iris would be controlling the size of your pupil. Your pupil is the back my nice little faded color. Your pupil is the actual hole in your iris. So your iris controls your iris like this, and it could make the pupil smaller or make the pupil larger.
And what effect that having?
What the effect that has is it focuses light inside here. So if you're in a darker room, if you're in a darker setting, the pupil would open wider, your iris muscles would dilate so that your pupil will open wider, so that more light could enter, so that you could see clearer in a darker place.
So more information will come onto your thing. Alright, cool,
Right.
cool.
And if you're in a bright place, you don't want too much, and you don't want to, as it will scorch your retina. So your iris would constrict and cause your pupil to become smaller and focus the light easier inside.
Right.
So that's your cornea pupil. The aqueous humor. This is the liquid.
Aqueous humor, I'm just laughing. It's humorous. Go ahead.
Wow. This is a colorless liquid that basically is inside of your cornea. It's a colorless liquid. So that's the liquid that would be inside of your iris. You see any questions there that are pertinent?
Radial muscles people talking about. Who's older? Or there's new people them asking the same questions other people ask. So you need to guess which one is older. You need to guess which one of us is older. Does cornea do some bending too?
Of light? Yes, it does. If you watch, you can see the shape of it is a bit rounded. So light that comes in here.
Convex.
Yes, it's convex. Well done, sir. So light that comes in here could more easily be focused into the pupil, which, by the way, focuses light onto the lens. The lens is what would actually send the light or focus the light into the spots on your retina that it needs to be.
Okay.
Your pupil, your lens itself could change shape. Your lens itself could change shape to focus light easier and better into, and that's what, like, when you focus.
It can get fat.
Yeah.
Or it can get
thinner or longer to focus the light onto your retina.
right.
You hear me keep talking about retina. The retina is the spot at the back of the eyeball, inside the eye, that contains the rods and cones. The rods and cones, those are light sensitive cells that can pick up the light and send the signal through to your optic nerves, which sends it to your brain, and your brain deciphers it. Yes, suspensory ligaments support the lens. These suspensory ligaments could actually be damaged, and like if you watch some people, there are some people whose lens could be moved and displaced and stuff if you get an eye injury. Rods and cones, retina converts light energy to nerve impulses. Very good. Lisa is on point. Lisa, you wrote this already, or you just aiming at that one so strong? Right.
So there's the lens here. There's the lens here, right? Now, when the lens gets short and fat,
There. You're supposed to know this is physics.
I waiting for you to explain it. So what hole in the lens in place then?
Lisa just said it. There are muscles on both ends holding the lens in place. Suspensory.
Ends?
Well, top and bottom holding.
I thought that around in a circle, like
Well,
the
yeah,
ciliary
yeah.
muscle. Yeah.
It's no. This isn't the ciliary muscle. This is the suspensory ligaments that hold the lens. The ciliary muscles are around that. The suspensory ligaments hold the lens in place. You can see it right here. They have it here. The suspensory ligaments hold the lens in place. And then you have your circular. Remember, we were talking about the circular ciliary muscles.
So, okay, I understand now. So, but when this, so ligaments don't contract because ligaments are not muscles. They just hold.
Yeah, they just hold it.
Ligaments are not muscles. Ligaments just holding the connecting muscles and something. It connects a muscle and something. Like ligament connect muscle to the bone.
Ligaments connect muscle to bone.
Right. And
no, bone to bone. Sorry.
Ligaments, bone to bone. I thought
tendon is muscle to bone. How I remember it more easily is this is biology too, so you could. There's a nice note. The tendon, your ligament, your ACL in your knee is bone to bone.
What is ACL stand for?
Anterior cruciate ligament.
Alright, no bother.
Your knee has ligaments and your ankle has a tendon. And your ankle is a muscle holding on to your foot bone basically.
Okay.
And that's the tendon. Tendon is muscle to bone. Ligament.
Somebody asked if the show I get one in right. Not only did I get a 1, I got all A's and I got a very high grade. I did well in bio in my report book, but it's one of the subjects that is consistently high. 80s, 90s, whatever. Anyhow, so, but it's a long while, it's 17 years or something since I do biology. And I do, biology is one of them subjects I don't teach on this side either. Alright, so your lens like this, and when the ciliary muscles contract, it make the lens fat.
If it contract,
that is why you used to tie up.
When it contract,
it actually makes the lens shorter and fatter. And when it
dilates,
the
lens would stretch.
The lens actually stretch. So relaxing the muscle actually stretching the lens because it will get pulled out, but contracting will actually squeeze it in. Right, okay, cool. Go on with your eye now.
Right. So we spoke about the conjunctiva, the cornea, the pupil, the aqueous humor, the iris, the circular ciliary muscles. These are what the suspensory ligaments are attached to. The suspensory ligaments are attached to the circular ciliary muscles. And so therefore it would be the circular ciliary muscle that actually controls the lens itself.
Right.
Because the ligaments just hold it.
Right, so we said that just
right. The retina, we spoke about the retina where the cones and rods are.
What's the difference between cones and rods? You need to know in biology?
I know you need to know it. I'm not sure if you need to know it for CXC. Cones see light, I believe, and the rods are only black and white, so you could see easier in low light places with your rods. And that's why if you have very little light, nearly everything looks black and white.
Okay. 347 people watching. 347 people watching. Make sure and click like people so that YouTube will send you notifications to everybody.
Alright, I had it in reviews. Wait. Everybody there doesn't have a consensus. Let me make sure I have my cones and rods correct.
One is color and one is grayscale.
Yeah, one is color.
But the grayscale helps for low light.
Grayscale is for low light.
Alright. So you'll talk about the suspensory, the lens itself, we talk about that. Now what gives your eye the color, we talk about that as the iris. The yellow spot, what is that? I never hear about that. Is that the blind spot?
If they're speaking about your fovea.
Yeah, fovea.
That's the spot that contains cones only. That's the spot that you see best on. That's
the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's your sweet spot. That's where you see old people. When you see old people doing so, they're trying to find their fovea. Right there. That's the spot you see the best on.
Right. Yellow spot.
They contains cones alone. Right. So cones are the light. Are the ones with light. The blind spot is
like the optic nerve.
The optic nerve, where the optic nerve attaches to the eye.
So there's no retina really there.
No, there's
a spot.
Yeah.
Right, and the choroid coat, that there.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's the blood supply. That's the blood supply. That contains blood vessels.
So that's the little dots you be seen in your eye and
the
thing.
red.
Like if you see little thing moving about the place and thing. That's the blood you be seeing.
I believe that may be an aqueous humor, and you may be seeing little particles on top of your eye, because remember you could only see at this spot.
Okay.
At this spot is the only spot you could see.
Okay.
At the corner.
Yeah, do a little research and then see what that is. Alright, so that's it for the eye. Any questions for the eye? So careful, he steal your laptop. I'm a brother, I can get you that. Yellow spot provides detailed vision. Right, so yellow spot is detailed vision. Any other thing? Any other questions with the eyes?
Yes, you are right. You are right, Paula. The choroid is black to absorb the excessive light, but it's also the area where the blood vessels are that supplies.
Choroid stops internal reflection or something.
Yeah, because it's black, so it absorbs extra
So
light. You don't want light just bouncing around inside your eye.
Do a recap. If you want a recap, you just pull back the video and watch it. But to do a recap on the night before exam, I can't really do a recap. What does the aqueous humor do? I guess that just keeping the I just saying, I don't know, but it kind of creating space between the cornea and your lens. It kind of keeping it off. If you are no aqueous humor, there it could kind of be something and that kind of thing. So it gives it a nice shape. So you can bend light, it maintains protection, maintains the shape of the cornea, right? So, and I just thinking that of a common sense, and it really you see that NXSS game, you know, when he's trouble. The brains. Okay. All right, so we're ready for the brain. Ready for the brain. Ready for the brain. So you need to find the brain to make sure you're doing everything that on the syllabus we see. I probably shouldn't change the diagram until I find the other one. So I'll just take off these yellow things here. I'll try to keep watching the thing. See if we miss anything in the eyes there that we could talk about.
Long-sightedness and short-sightedness.
Eye problems?
Yeah.
So talk about that there.
Long-sightedness, that's when the eyeball, usually it's caused by the eyeball being too short, from front to back, or the lens being too flat, and because of that the light from distant objects don't focus very well on the retina, but the light from near objects could still focus easily on the retina.
Okay, I don't understand anything you say there. Let's see it again.
You kind of have to draw it to
long-sightedness.
Yeah.
And
basically long-sightedness. You don't know what to spell sightedness. SIGHTEDNESS.
ED. Right, so it was just the H and the T playing the fool.
Hypermetropia. Somebody said it there too. Hypermetropia.
Yeah.
A little further up.
Hypermetropia. Hypermetropia. That's long-sightedness. Alright. And with long-sightedness, well, you could see long. With long-sightedness, you can see short.
You cannot
with
see
short-sightedness, you can see long.
Right.
And so, if you're long-sighted, you can see objects close to you better, but long-sighted, that's so weird.
Yeah.
So with long-sightedness, you can't see. Okay. Cohen struggling. This is not my natural element. I knew this once upon a time.
Wait, no. I say it wrong. Long-sightedness, right? You could see far. Short-sightedness, you can't see close. You could see close. Whichever one it is the one you could see. So long-sightedness is when you could only see things clearly from a distance. Short-sightedness is when you could only see things clearly from there. So long-sightedness, because the retina is too flat or your eye is too short, what happens is light from nearby objects aren't able to focus, so they don't.
All right.
You know.
I know everything now. I remember it now.
You know when light.
Say less. So this is the lens here.
Yeah.
Let me say this is a normal shape lens here. Right? When you're long-sighted, the lens thin.
Right.
So normally light when it comes in is bend, and you get a nice little focus there, right?
Right.
But when light coming in now, when you're long-sighted,
from there. Right.
It didn't bend in properly to the spot where it need to go now.
Exactly.
So the focal point actually coming behind the eye. So this is behind the retina, I want to say. So
yeah, it focuses behind the retina.
Because of that, you're not really seeing good. You're not really seeing good. So the definition need to be here, the focal length of your eye. So short-sighted equal near long-sighted equal far.
Right.
That's the brain cells right before exam.
So if you're correcting this, what you would want is another lens or glasses which would focus the light in.
What kind of lens? Concave or convex?
You supposed to know that you can just say you're real good at physics. Which would focus with closing the light?
Yeah, convex. Convex.
You sure?
100%. Convex lens. So the convex lenses will give you a little boost in the refraction area. So them the light will come in a little smaller.
I seen the same concave.
Nah, them don't know what they're talking about. Convex, yo. Concave is for myopia, which is short.
Yeah,
convex is the thing. Earlier, I could stunt on me in the
biology,
but in the physics. You want a convergent lens, which is a convex.
Right.
Convex.
So
lens.
it closes it in a little more and allows it to focus it.
Right.
And short-sightedness is when you could only see things short. So it's basically just the reverse of that.
Right.
So what happens is the focal point.
So short-sightedness, you have a fat lens then.
Yeah, and the
focal
you
point.
can see
things short good because your focal point
right there. But when it nearby, when it far away, sorry,
the straight lines coming in now will actually overcompensate.
Yep. And your focal point will be in front of your retina.
In front of the retina, missing the sweet spots, missing them cones and rods, them.
So then, what you need, by the way, it's not always a problem with the lens. It could be a problem with your eyeball itself. If your eyeball a little long,
if your eyeball long, alright,
or a little too short.
If you have a weird eye,
if you have a little weird eye.
Right. So okay.
And what lens would fix that, Mr. Physics?
Well, concave no, because you'll want that to kind of go out and then hit the eye and come back in. So you're good to go. You're compensating for all the refraction that your eye doing. Alright, let me see some whys in the chat if you all understand this. Eye problems, you understand how to draw your eye. Ting ting ting. Tang 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 ting ting ting.
Astigmatism too.
Astigmatism, what is that? Unusually shaped?
Yeah, that's just when it's shaped off. So, and astigmatism, I say astigmatism. Real wise one. Well, there's no one specific astigmatism. That's why astigmatism is A or A. What you all say? AH or AY?
Astigmatism.
Astigmatism or astigmatism?
Go ahead.
Anyway, that's when your lens or your cornea have a little weird shape. Mm-hmm. So you have to get a specific lens for the weird shape to compensate for it.
Mm-hmm. Some saying A, some saying
A.
Tell you, astigmatism. Astigmatism.
Okay, astigmatism it is. Alright.
Alright, so that's it for eye. Any other questions on the eye before we move on to what? The brain? Let me see if I can pull up our brain here. Somebody say that escape, not in CXC. Astigmatism, not in CXC. Bifocal lens is physics. Astigmatism. They say in CXC. What are looking for? I'm looking for the brain. See if you see any questions there. Stop talk so much, I'm sleepy. Oh my gosh. So, what you need to know for the brain in CXC? Let's see the brain.
The part, what we did in the question, cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata.
Pituitary gland.
Pituitary gland.
See if you find it. Talk to the chat there. Talk to the chat.
Functions, motor and sensory parts. Do the hormones after homeostasis. What part of the brain is in charge of homeostasis? Let me see who knows that. Which part of the brain is in charge of homeostasis?
Moving to that side now, which what we do so far. We just finished the eye, so we're onto the brain now. I need to find a good brain to talk about.
Correct. Hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is in charge of homeostasis.
Homeostasis or stasis?
Those things.
Homeostasis. Homeostasis. Nah, homeostasis. Homeostasis. So if you just reach, make sure and press some like in the thing. Sorry, I get this style. I wanted to get black and white, but we in a hurry. Oh gosh, man. See how stressful this thing can be. Right. You see what happening then? Only I'm trying to put this on this thing properly. Bam.
Yeah, I get.
Alright, so let me talk about the brain. Let's be nice to each other in the chat, please. Don't rabs anybody in the chat. Then we can talk about reproduction, since reproduction is a big topic here. Tell me everything about you know about each part there, Nathan.
Alright, the hypothalamus is in charge, as they said, of homeostasis. Homeostasis is maintaining the body's condition, so correct amount of water, correct temperature, etc.
The hypothalamus. Okay, hypothalamus. So, is in charge of what?
Homeostasis.
Correct amount of
maintaining the body in a nice, maintaining the body's conditions. So, maintaining the correct amount of water, which is controlling your kidney, which is the next thing they want to held in. Your body's temperature, water uptake. That's most of it.
Right, and for those who missed the last session, we had the cerebellum, we had the cerebrum,
and we had the medulla.
The medulla, and what? So let me see if I remember. The cerebrum, thought, memory. The cerebellum, balance.
Yeah, by coordinating muscle.
Voluntary muscle movements. The medulla, involuntary muscles. Right.
So that's heartbeat, breathing,
automatic things.
Yeah.
Right?
On this diagram, they have the medulla. The medulla is on the brainstem on this diagram.
Where is it? Where are you, medulla? There you are. Right there.
Does this guy? Yes. They show the pituitary gland. Right. The pituitary gland, that little tiny gland, is an endocrine gland, and he really important.
That is all the hormones and things.
Not all, but a lot of the hormones.
Right. So, what kind of hormones the pituitary gland?
LSH. We know LSH.
What LSH stands for?
Luteinizing.
The cerebrum is composed of two cerebral hemispheres.
Yes, the left and right cerebral hemispheres.
They bring the brain slight in January, so maybe they might bring it back tough again.
Yes, ADH. ADH is antidiuretic hormone, luteinizing hormone, right?
TSH, what is that?
I'm not sure what. FSH, right? Yeah, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, is LH, not LSH. LH and FSH, ADH, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, ADH, growth hormones. Right, yes, all of those are secreted from the pituitary gland.
Alright, and what about by the way, what in the spinal column? I guess that's in the skeleton there. I don't know all the vertebrae and things.
Yeah, the different vertebrae in the spinal column. But I believe they should know that. Starting with the cervical and the thoracic.
Lumbar.
And ending in your coccyx.
So this all together is called the brainstem. And the medulla oblongata resides in there.
Yeah.
What is midbrain thing about that? I don't remember.
They're not in for them.
Alright. So this is your voluntary. Okay. Was it thalamus?
Not for them. They don't need to know that.
Alright. So we good there with brain then?
For the most part, that's why I was wondering when they were saying brain, the brain don't have that much in this for the CXC level. The brain don't have that much.
We current in Tobago cutting off all kind of madness. Imagine you studying for exam and current
Oh,
gone.
gosh.
Imagine you studying for exam and all your past papers online and current gone. I feel ya. You watch now, you're gonna walk up into and tech and start again. Next, please do a menstruation cycle question. So I think we should go to. All who say move on, let me see some wise in the chat if you want to move on. Big time, big man anytime. Talamus and Midwin come and fight you for that.
That has never come for any CXC question.
Why to move on? Why to move on? Let me go to where you feeling?
It's diagrams you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah,
so what's the next diagram on the list?
So we did eye, we talk about brain, now you talk about the kidney now, since that's the big, that's the big killer there.
That's the big boy.
Kidney for the kidneys. So what I need to know, I think it's two diagrams you need to know: the kidney,
the big kidney diagram, and then the drawing of a nephron.
And then the nephron. Alright, so now you look at the big kidney, the big picture first. Alright people, what do you know about the kidney? What all you know about the kidney? Let me see if you. Let me see if you will come on here nicely.
Kidneys, the nephrons, nephrology.
Alright, little bro.
The kidney looks like a kidney bean.
Right.
And you have two kidneys. They're located kind of at your lower back area there.
Remove urea. Kidneys are very expensive. Like you planning on selling some kidneys. So. What is the fluid in the brain? What is the fluid in the brain? Glomerulus, cortex, medulla, pelvis, also head. It has a million nephrons below the intestine. Where is the kidney situated? It's the main excretory organ for urea.
Correct.
Adapt CSF. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Do you all have a donate button? No, we don't have a donate button. Sorry. Although in the stream it would be nice to see a ping 500 donated by Mr. Beast. Ping 1000 donated by Mr. Anyway.
Yes, the kidney filters out waste.
And them thing, you know. I wonder if some people is right like how they talk in the exam. Kidneys filter out waste and them thing, eh? Kidneys get rid of excess water. Kidney is located halfway down the kid leg. Well done. I got it. Kidney, kid leg.
The renal artery is what supplies the kidney. Why is now coming in? The renal artery supplies the kidney with blood, and well, the vein takes away the blood from the kidney. This blood goes from the arteries to arterioles to capillaries, and the capillaries are bunched up and found in the glomerulus. The glomerulus is located, the kidney itself is separated into three parts: the pelvis, the medulla, and the cortex. The glomerulus is located in the cortex.
But where's this venule thing? That is what taking it back out.
Yeah. Arterioles. It goes from arteries, arterioles, capillaries, and then capillaries, venules, veins.
So you have the arteries, arteriole.
Yeah.
The arteriole. Oh, the spelling looking. Arteriole. And then they're going to capillaries. Capillaries. And then the capillaries is go back to venules.
Yeah.
And then this will go back to veins.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other size there. We already do up for somebody asking if we could do a past paper. We just do the whole of January. Probably we should not pick January. Allowed to thinking it out, we should have probably picked, because this January people will help those next year more than they will help those this year. How much things from January will repeat now?
Well, the ideas.
But the ideas, when we was going through the paper, we real talk all about biology, ideas and everything.
Yeah, so the capillaries bunch into a little ball of capillaries, and this little ball of capillaries is called a glomerulus.
Right.
Is that on the diagram? That this diagram do have glomerulus?
No, but we're coming to that. So
Right.
the glomerulus, like, it is
Right.
balls up
Yeah.
there.
And the glomerulus would be in the cortex of the kidney. And the glomerulus is held inside of the Bowman's capsule. So the glomerulus is the capillaries, and these are held inside the Bowman's capsule, which
Alright,
is
so we
the
come into that.
head
When
of
I
the
pull up
nephron.
that, when I pull up that diagram, let me see if there's any other thing here. What's the medulla?
Those are the different parts of the kidney. The kidney has the cortex on the outside, then it has the medulla.
The cortex on the outside is like what?
The cortex on the outside is the region that would have the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule, etc., etc. And bear in mind, a nephron goes looping up and down. So it loops down now into the medulla, and ultimately when it finishes, it ends in the pelvis. And the pelvis would
That's the
be-
next region?
Yeah, the pelvis is this region here.
Right, and that going down to
To the
the
ureter.
Right. Okay.
As we in the macro diagram, the larger part of the diagram, we could talk about the ureter. The ureter empties into the bladder. The bladder empties into the urethra.
Alright. So the ureter.
ER. Ureter. No, not TH. Just ER. Just TER. URETER. The
Goes into the
ureter
bladder,
to the bladder.
and there's hole in it.
The bladder just collecting.
Collecting.
It's a little elastic bag.
So the ureter coming from the kidney,
Mm-hmm.
going into elastic bag, which is your bladder, and then this going down into your
So the end of your bladder has a little sphincter muscle,
the sphincter, right?
and then that exits your body through the urethra.
Urethra. Okay. Cricks.
No,
Cricks and cheese. And chicken. Yeah, I'm thing now, man.
Well, if it's a chicken.
Alright. Yeah. So we had what we had first.
Bourbon.
We had bourbon first. Then we had nuts. We could eat too much nuts, not choking me. Now we down to Crick's cheese. Crick's cheese.
The man say how the spelling on the diagram and still had solid wrong in it. The urethra.
And we have Crick's cheese and
Chicken piece.
chicken piece thing here. The vital supply. Shit.
The urethra and urethra, you would imagine all the parts of the kidney you didn't used to really give me much trouble, but that urethra and urethra, somehow I always used to mix it up.
Alright. That way you know it now.
Yeah, I know it now. The way I remember that, I used to think of the urethra as how the urine gets thrown out of the body and you throw it out. Tra! That's my technique for remembering it. The urethra. Throw him out. As sure I say that, and if it come in biology, you remember it with that.
Okay. So what do you mean by filtrate?
The filtrate is what comes out of the blood. So what happens is the arteriole that comes into the glomerulus.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The arteriole that comes into the glomerulus is actually bigger than the venule that leaves the glomerulus. So what that does, it creates a pressure inside of the glomerulus. So it causes forced filtration out of the capillaries in the glomerulus
Right.
into the Bowman's capsule.
Say less. All of this is under excretion.
Excretion.
What's the difference between excretion and
Egestion.
egestion?
Excretion is metabolic waste. It has to go through some reaction in your body. Egestion, mainly feces, is just undigested food. It didn't go through any bodily reactions. It just passed through and through. So you could probably see what you eat if you look close enough.
Right. People beg. See, this man say he could bet his kidney is not coming. Big man, if kidneys come,
And they tell you label Nephron.
I'm coming by you and acting for your kidney, you know. Ingestion and
Right?
okay. Alright. So alright, let me just
Nephron.
quickly do the nephron. and move on. Since them betting the kidney and think it's not coming. So let me just find a nephron and we'll talk about that. First I need to find a good nephron. In the nephron I need to show the cortex and the medulla. What's the next thing?
The cortex and the nephron would be located in the cortex and the medulla. Looping, starting in the cortex, loop down into the medulla, then come back up into the cortex and then go
Right. This ringing a bell, boy. This rings a bell, boys. Ding. Alright, talk to me.
Alright.
I can't really see it, but go ahead.
The afferent arteriole, you don't need to know is the afferent arteriole, just know it's an arteriole. Entering into the glomerulus, and if you notice, you'll see what I was talking about, the difference in size. The one that enters in the afferent is larger than the one that leaves the efferent, and that creates a pressure and forces filtration into the Bowman's capsule. So you'd have the filtrate going through the Bowman's capsule. What the entire point of the nephron is to reabsorb what you want. Because what filters out isn't
what you
it don't discriminate. Nearly everything filters out. So you'd have water, you'd have salts, you may even have some sugars inside there that filters out.
So that's the entire point of the nephron construction.
Exactly. The entire point of the nephron is to take back up where you want.
Alright, so in the initials here, everything rolling out.
Yeah.
But
not everything.
Yeah, but things that you want jumping out too.
Yes.
Alright.
In the filtrate, you would have water, of course, salts, urea, some sugars even. Some sugar. First, you would be, and then the point of the entire nephron, as I was saying, was for selective reabsorption, so that things that you want in your body still would be reabsorbed into your body. What controls that would be the pituitary gland, whilst secreting ADH. ADH is the antidiuretic hormone. When you secrete ADH, what is that?
A man asks when is bio.
He's not writing bio.
Imagine if you're writing bio and you really ask when is bio again.
And the ADH controls how much water your body uptakes. So, for example, there are artificial diuretics like caffeine. That's why caffeine causes you to pee a lot. Because it causes your body to release water.
Okay.
It works the same way the hormone in your body works. Anyway, so as it passes through.
So what, caffeine inhibits ADH or something? Because the more ADH, the more.
Right. The more ADH you release, the more you reabsorb.
So
caffeine is so the ADH is antidiuretic.
Right.
And caffeine is a diuretic.
Okay.
Right. So as the filtrate goes through, you'd be reabsorbing the sugars, you'd be reabsorbing some of the salt, you'd be reabsorbing most of the water. The vast majority of water that is filtered out is reabsorbed before it reaches out.
Right.
According to how much water your body needs, it would reabsorb more. So of course, if you drink little water, your body would reabsorb.
So this whole give and take plate, have a name for that? Like that whole, I feel like it had a name for
selective reabsorption.
Yeah, selective like if it have a name for that kind of process, a process where there's a constant feedback.
Negative feedback loop. The negative feedback loop.
Right.
That's in.
It have any more like that?
Yeah.
You're trying to
remember the name of all. Basically in nerves, in the whole setup with nerves and brain.
You need that piece.
Right. So you're moving through all of your reabsorbing. There will be several hormones in charge of reabsorbing different substances. If you have a malfunction, for example, one of the ways they used to test for diabetes in children, a long time ago they used to taste the pee. And if you taste sugar in the pee, the chances that the child had diabetes. Right. So after you reabsorb most of the water and some of the salt, some of the sugars, it would empty itself into the collecting duct.
So, do you know the proximal convoluted tubule, tubule, my mouth full earlier. That's the one closest to the Bowman's capsule. That's the one that we take in.
Yeah, that takes back glucose.
And distal convoluted, what does that do? Why is that different than it?
The distal will be the last. In the distal, that's where you'd reabsorb some salts and some through the loop of Henle you'd be reabsorbing water. In the distal you'd reabsorb some salts if it's still needed. Diabetics for sugar. Right. In the distal you'd be reabsorbing salts and water. That's the last thing to make sure all that you need you reabsorb.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And then this here is heading towards
that is where all, if you notice, it have other entrances too. All the different nephrons empty into the collecting duct. The collecting ducts empty into the ureter, the ureter into the bladder into the urethra.
Okay. Okay. Any questions before we move on? What you need to do is just draw the diagram and make sure you can label it in your mind. Label it on the paper, I mean, not in your mind.
Any questions? Any questions? Draw the nephron. No. Somebody asked draw what, so I was like, what you're drawing is the nephron.
Yeah, just take a little quick draw the nephron. You don't need to make it perfect. You just want to make sure you can label each part. Each part and think about, can I explain each part? What is osmoregulation? That's the whole process.
That's the whole process of regulating the amount of water in your body.
What's that? What's the vasorector? What's that? Move on. What's next?
If you never learned this at any point in your life, you didn't sit down in the biology class.
What's next? How long are we going to be live? We're going to be live for maybe about an hour and a half again, max, 2 hours max.
Next,
the people them ball for reproduction. So we going next. No, I go to spell next XT. That's not our next. Our next is next. Right? So let me do that reproduction. What in reproduction?
What about reproduction?
Reproduction, yes.
Reproduction is a kind of big general thing, and which reproduction? Sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction. You want to go? We're not going to go through the entirety of reproduction.
Reproduction in plants.
In plants.
So I'm just looking up the syllabus. Good. Internet sticking, boy. I don't know watch how smooth we're running, but the internet sticking. Hormones, asexual, genetics. Everybody who asking for genetics, we do genetics already, you know. Well, I did genetics already. What are you trying to say?
Asexual reproduction is one parent.
That's mitosis.
Yeah, reproduction basically by mitosis.
Y'all, I did mitosis and meiosis already. Also, there's a nice channel. I spoke to her on a channel recently. I forget the name of the channel is. I think it's CSEC Biology Tutor, you know. Anybody know the channel? The name of the channel, can just write it in there. You know me, I always promoting other channels. CSEC Biology Tutor. She have a lot of the hard topics. When you go across on her channel, CSEC Biology Tutor, I need to verify that.
Types of reproduction, asexual and sexual. And in plants, if you have asexual, you could be talking about
CSEC Biology Tutor. She has 5.1 subscribers, 5.1k subscribers and 30 videos. She have videos on cell division, mitosis versus meiosis. A 9-minute video on that. I did that in a long video. She have it nice and condensed there. She have 15 more diagrams that you need to know. This is
pollination. Nah, you can't sit here wanting to do pollination methods.
She have diagrams on the hinge, hinge joint,
Ball and socket.
ball and socket. She have upper arm, brain, neuron, eye, endocrine system, skin, female reproductive system, menstrual cycle, male reproductive system, pregnant woman, flower, fruit, seed.
I see natural selection. Natural selection is very simple. Natural selection is the organism that is most suited for its environment will survive, and therefore its genetics will be passed on to the other generation.
And she also have some stuff on HSB for those who talking about the HSB. Negative feedback control, it is part of the
We did the eye already. You're a little late, you have to rewind a bit.
Amoeba Sisters, that next good channel, and I see that channel too. Amoeba Sisters. The Amoeba Sisters. Check out that channel. Those people have really nice diagrams and will help you understand it. So the reproduction part about mitosis and meiosis, gametes, reproduction in plants, I could probably tackle that. But I've already done mitosis and meiosis. We didn't do the organs itself. But I think we could look at.
We explained the heart already.
We could do leaf. We could probably do leaf, the skin or skin.
Leaf and skin.
I don't think she do skin, so like we do skin, so they will be able to. Right now is our last minute thing. I don't want to take you all too long. I want you all to spend time revising for yourself, going through content. Don't just be watching me and my brother eat quicks. Yeah, well actually I do not eat quicks eating. He didn't look him. Alright, so let's do skin. If my internet will start working, that would be great. So just to repeat, you will look up these two channels to explain everything that we missed. Everything you'll be looking at that. Amoeba Sisters, CSEC Biology Tutor. Amoeba Sisters is an international channel, but the explanation just so sweet and condensed. I know you mustn't talk with your mouth full in a live and thing, it's just rude and thing, but whatever. And they reach 21K. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Let me bust that 21K now. Yeah, but we reach what? What's that? Alright, yeah, we just know.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just do this skin and call that George boy. My brother Debo. We just get a message an emergency.
Right, so skin. Oh, that skin little small boy.
Yeah, some fat skin.
The skin in specific in the syllabus as detailed, I believe it's just basically the diagram you'd have to learn and well how it conducive to losing heat as in temperature regulation in humans.
Yeah, what's that? I take it small swing.
Alright, well I will watch here.
Alright. I guess we'll write all the things and I'll give you an actual pen to write with.
Alright. We have the three main layers, the epidermis, the dermis, and the fat layer. The epidermis, the top layer of the epidermis, as most of us should know by now, is a layer of dead skin cells. The skin cells at the top layer are basically most dead, and they are protecting the internal dermal layers. The dermal layers are the layers that would contain the capillaries. The capillaries aid in heat loss because if your body becomes too warm, what happens is the capillaries close to the skin begin to dilate and the blood passes near to the skin allowing heat to transfer from the blood to the skin to the outside. That's why, and the blood to the sweat also. That's why if somebody is fair enough.
What's the main difference between your epidermis and your dermis? Like if they ask you that, what's the difference between epidermis and dermis?
The epidermis is the outer layer that contains dead skin cells. The dermis is the layer that contains the capillaries and the sweat glands.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. The root follicles here is located within the dermal layers, within the dermal layer. And from this your hair grows straight out and continues growing from this. This is supplied obviously by the blood from the capillaries also. Beyond this is the fat layer. The aim of the fat layer is basically to keep us warm. That's the basic idea behind the fat layer. And the sweat glands to produce sweat to help us to cool. The epidermis is also called the cornified layer. C-O-R-N-I-F-I-E-D, the cornified layer, with the old skin cells as they die. They are nerve endings, the pain receptors inside, right? There they are, these nerve endings. These are how you feel when somebody touches you, or if something is hot, or if something is cold.
What's the purpose of the sebaceous gland?
The sebaceous gland, this creates oils for your, within your hair follicles. They oil up your hair. Natural oils.
And leak out on your skin.
And it leaks out on your skin, so your skin stays supposed to stay naturally moist, generally speaking.
Alright, so that's hair. Sebaceous thing here. This here is the hair follicle.
Yeah.
This here is like the hair on the outside, which is kind of like dead almost. Okay. You have the two main layers here, and well, you have the fatty layer. So you have the dermis. The epidermis is on the outside.
Yes.
Explain. This is the nerve.
Yeah. No. That's the capillaries.
That's the capillaries going up here.
Yeah.
Right, and this is the nerve.
Yeah.
So y'all just refresh me if I'm wrong. How do you need to learn like if you get damaged and you have to go through the whole process of repairing clotting?
Yes, they have to learn that with the platelets. But that is not on this. That is in blood.
Oh. So you have to know blood. You also need to know
lymphocytes, phagocytes, and the phagocytosis.
So then it has nothing to learn in skin.
No, this is about all you have to learn in skin, the diagram, and how it aids in temperature loss.
Okay. So what systems in your skin will help keep you, like if you're cold,
right?
Two methods to stay warm.
Methods to stay warm would be the capillaries close to your skin would contract, so no blood would flow close to your skin. That's why if the place is very cold, you could actually look pale. According to how fair you would see it, you would actually look pale because the skin,
somebody say shivering. Ignore that beeping thing.
The capillaries close to your skin constrict to prevent blood flowing there.
So because the internal body temperature is hotter, to avoid heat loss, the capillaries come away from your skin.
Yeah.
Shivering
uses muscles because respiration itself creates heat. So that's one of the byproducts of respiration.
What else?
You would sweat less. You always sweat, but you just sweat a lot less
to avoid
because what sweat does is when sweat goes on your skin, it evaporates and goes with the heat that is in the liquid. Alright, and this person is right, the hair erector muscles contract, but that don't really work to do much with us. The aim of the hair erector muscles contracting that's why you call pause raising. That's when you see a pause raising.
Right.
If we were very hairy, what would happen is our hair would stand up and trap a layer of air inside it, and air itself would help to insulate us. But we aren't that hairy, so it doesn't really do much.
And if you're feeling warm now,
the reverse of all those happens. The blood vessel, the capillaries close to your skin,
So that they get flush,
you
get
get
red.
flush, you look red.
Right.
They dilate, blood
They
runs
hear any
in.
noise too, they hear any noise. You'll hear na boom, boom. I don't even know what that is. I want to see something. What the heck is that noise, man?
It's a system noise, wherever it is, because if
I
it
feel
bypasses
like, I feel
anybody.
like it's the camera. And if I take out the camera, we get freeze again. I just keep it. And now it stopped.
I don't know.
Okay. iPad charger. Blow it up. Some people singing is the charger. iPad charger. Could be, yeah, could be the iPad charger. But it's something like it coming from the laptop. You just stick on it. Somebody said OBR. Anytime something getting wrong in Caribbean, we run to the OBR first. Alright people, what next? Gotta go no.
I don't know.
Who followed it now? Alia, what's the time? We had to take it out. We had to take it here. But
8:33.
But what we get a good hour in here, we get 2 diagrams. I wish we could have gained more diagrams. But the fact of the matter is all of the diagrams are online. I mean, it wouldn't be pointed towards CXC as much as like if we do it live, we would discuss exactly what CXC want. Somebody wanted the menstrual cycle. Now if you use that girl, you supposed to just know that.
No. The diagram, look in your textbook and learn off the diagram that shows the different hormones at their levels. The LSH hormone, the progesterone, the estrogen, learn off the different levels. It's just one diagram. It's mainly one diagram, and most textbooks would have that one diagram that have all of them that you need in it. Learn off that diagram. Estrogen, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, all of those are in one diagram, and you can learn it.
Alright, and how would you recommend learning skeleton, joints, thing?
The thing with the skeleton, you don't have to learn all the bones in the skeleton. You need to learn some joints. The joints, the hinge joints, and the ball and socket are the main ones. Learn it off practically, because remember you have a body. So if you learn it off practically, you learn off what the hinge joints are, and that the hinge joints can't rotate, while the ball and socket joints could rotate, such as your shoulder, and the hinge joints could move like a hinge, like a door hinge. They move up and down. You learn off that. You learn how they work. You look at the diagram. You do the same method you spoke about to learn drawing the diagram.
Right.
You learn off how the placement of the synovial tissue, the synovial fluid, and the synovial layer. I forget what I call that. The membrane, the synovial membrane. You learn off that.
Remember to check this site, CSEC Biology Tutor. If you're checking out any of our videos, be sure to tell her Cohen send you. Share some love. There's one video that I saw she do that was nice, that it went through the syllabus in a kind of nutshell, so you could speed through it and just check out and make sure you have the syllabus. What's that?
I want to see Nathan sweating you want to leave. The room little warm.
Nah, you had to reach across. Anyhow, let me not say Nathan personal business. But Amoeba sisters, check out this YouTube channel. You'll be in a good gear. Also, one more thing, the respiration system, respiratory system.
Respiratory system, as in the lung. That's really simple. Your lung, you breathe in, inhalation. I think it's keep where they talk about the muscle movement, the intercostal muscles. I don't think that is CXC.
But the diaphragm, up, what goes thing.
Learn the diaphragm, learn what muscles activate to cause your lungs to enlarge, to suck in air. Learn how your alveoli work.
Right, so that's the small diagram. I like the small diagram.
Yeah, the little ball, and it's really simple. It's a gaseous exchange surface. It's moist. It has a ready supply of oxygen through the capillaries that surround it. The air moves in, dissolves into the moist surface, and goes into the blood.
Yeah, so gaseous exchange, right?
Yeah, that's gaseous exchange.
One more thing I wanted to say with that. Remember, we just do maybe about what 10-20% of the syllabus here, and we rush you some things. You need to go and sit down and make sure you stack and organize off everything and make sure you learn everything properly. Right?
I see somebody talk about the transporting plants. Learn off that. That's pretty simple. The phloem and xylem, learn what they transport. That is one of the favorite questions I find they almost always ask. Difference between phloem and xylem, what they transport, and that is easy marks.
Right. So
why couldn't Nathan be?
I teach you all the time.
I do teach.
Right. So if you want to get onto Nathan,
I wonder if to throw my number out big, so
message
they could message you and you'll pass on the message to me.
Right. So message me and I'll pass on the message. Right. So you can message this number. Right. One more thing before you go, Nathan. One more thing.
5 at the end.
3. Yeah. So message this number and you'll be able to just ask for Nathan and you'll be able to get you. Make a YouTube channel, Nathan.
Nah.
Oh, this is very important. For every single thing you learn, every system, the 3 sections in biology. When you learn a topic, learn off the little advantages or the little okay. Like you see, when I talk about skin, I ask you the question, how it will react when it's cold or warm and thing. Them little ending pieces is go for a good chunk of the mark. So like when you learn a topic, learn the little ending piece of the topic.
When that comes in really handy is you see the essay type.
Yeah.
When you reach the essay type, you would be glad you have those little fillers. Those ending pieces have good little fillers to put in an essay type. You see the essay type is worth 10 marks or whichever, and you write 3 lines, you're not gonna get it, even if you have a good bit of the answer. But if you have some filler to show that you know the entirety of the topic.
Right. So you can go now before Philly call me. You want a hug, yeah, kiss.
Not the boy.
Zion, come and say goodbye.
Bye, folks.
Zion, you want to come and say goodbye? Zion was on the live earlier for those of you who missed it. Zion, how are you sweating so, buddy? Say goodbye. As soon as Zion reaches, grab all the pens. Yeah. Bye. Alright, so we go on there, hold it down and wish you all the best in bio. I don't think bio should be too killer, but AdMaths people, tomorrow we'll have to do some AdMaths because AdMaths will probably come in rough. You see what they're doing to maths, AdMaths will come in rough. And I'll tell you all some tips for learning in AdMaths later.